I'm Kyle Moore. I'm 21 years old, and I'm a senior at Baylor University studying social entrepreneurship.
I'm Kevin Oliver. I'm also 21 years old, and I'm studying my first year at Lewis University studying aviation.
Jina langu ni Kyle, na jina lake ni Kevin. So this summer, the summer of 2013, Kevin and I had the privilege of going to the Masai Mara in Kenya, which is in the southwestern part of Kenya, and spending six weeks there working on a farm. The name of the farm was Olerai, which is a type of tree there, and we just had a great experience working on a lot of different things. And we also had some goals going into the trip. The first goal was to figure out the whole cattle raising process. So as a farm, they raise and trade cattle, and so we took some time to learn how to brand the cattle and give them vitamins and to get them to graze properly and all that kind of stuff.
Another one of our goals at Olerai Farm was to get the beehives up and running. So that consisted of building the beehive stands, painting the beehives, and also finding good locations for the beehives themselves.
The third goal that we had while we were there was we got these utility vehicles sent from the US. So they're three-wheeled, built on a truck chassis, and we were basically just testing them, so putting them through their paces and figuring out their flaws and what things could be improved upon.
Also, while we were down there, we worked with a local secondary school called Emarti. While we were there, we created lasting relationships with many of the kids, asking about their schoolwork, about their relationship with the Lord, and just also asking about their goals and their dreams in life.
We didn't just spend time with the students at school and at church and stuff like that, but we also played sports with them a lot of the time. So we went and played volleyball 3 days a week, as well as being Africa, they love soccer, football as they call it there, and just really got opportunities to get to know the kids outside of school in a less formal environment, and like Kevin said, just make some lasting relationships with the kids.
So while we were there, we had many challenges. One for me was the language barrier. Kyle, he's taken 2 semesters of Swahili, so he knew his way around Kenya. So I kind of had to take a back seat during the trip and let Kyle speak to other Kenyans, and I'd find out later what that was translated.
I think one of the other things that was different for us when we got there was the pace of the work. You know, you expect things to move along quickly. You expect when you need something, it's right there and you can grab it, and that was not the case at all there. Everything's just a little bit more of a process there, and it's not as straightforward as it is here in the U.S. But the slowness of things, it kind of makes you just think through things a little bit more and value the relationships that you gain as you're working, which is something that in Kenya is really crucial. You know, when you go to someone's house, you don't just sit down and start having a conversation with someone. They bring the tea to you first. You sit down with a cup of chai and you drink your tea, and then you start the conversation. Then if you have business or something to talk about, that's when you get into it later. But just the pace of things is really it was a challenge, but it was also something cool to learn that we've kind of adopted back here. Just take it a little bit slower and get to know people, get the relationships down first before you really get into the more serious stuff.
The slower work pace kind of helped both of us be able to adapt to different situations as well. There was never a small job in Africa. It looked like a small job, and it turned into a couple of days' work. Because we created such lasting relationships with the kids at the secondary school, and also Tarquin and Lipa on the farm, when it came time to leave, it was like leaving our second family. Jackson, one of the workers at Emarti, the secondary school, he actually gave me his kisu, which is just a massive knife, and it's something that's very personal. It's something that's his, and he gave it to me just to show that we're almost like family. So that was just incredibly hard to leave Africa after that.
If I were to take away one thing that I really learned from this trip, and that I'm going to carry on to the rest of my life, would be there's a certain need that everyone in the world has, and that's for two things. The first is for jobs. You know, people need jobs obviously to provide for themselves, but they also need them to feel like they have a purpose, to feel like they have a goal, to when they wake up in the morning, to know they have something to do, and so that they feel important. And then the second thing, which is even more crucial, is they need Christ. And you know, when you bring to a place jobs and you bring Christ, you're giving people a purpose, you're giving them a goal, but at the end of the day, you're also giving them salvation. And I really believe that when we went to Kenya, we laid the foundation for that we can continue to bring jobs to these people, bring them the message of Christ, and hopefully at the end of the day, a lot of these people will be saved in the name of Jesus Christ.
What's up?